Your brain is literally designed to keep you exactly where you are, and it has been doing it your entire life, entirely without you noticing. This trap is driven by the homeostasis effect. Homeostasis is the body's biological drive to maintain a stable internal state. Just as your body aggressively regulates your temperature and heart rate, it also regulates your behavior and identity to maintain a psychological set point. The flaw in this ancient system is that your brain does not distinguish between good change and bad change. It treats all deviation from your established baseline as a potential threat. Look at people who win the lottery. Despite a massive influx of cash, they almost always return to their previous financial state within 5 years. Your inability to change is not a lack of desire. You are fighting an invisible biological cage, a cage that is constructed from years of your own repeated behaviors and environments. If you have ever failed a New Year's resolution or broken a new habit, you can stop blaming yourself. You are dealing with a biological reality, not a character flaw. There is a constant battle happening inside your head. On one side is the prefrontal cortex, the rational, goal-setting part of the brain where willpower lives. On the other side is the limbic system, the older, faster, emotional part of the brain driven entirely by survival. Willpower is a finite resource that drains throughout the day, causing ego depletion. Ego depletion is the rapid loss of mental energy and self-control after performing difficult tasks. The limbic system, however, fires instantly and never tires. Trying to use willpower to override your homeostasis mechanism is like trying to hold back a rushing river with your bare hands. Failing to change is a mathematically predictable outcome. You are relying on a weak, easily exhausted system to fight an ancient survival mechanism. Neuroscientists have confirmed this. When you step outside your comfort zone, your brain activity increases in the exact same regions associated with genuine threat detection. This reaction is controlled by the amygdala. The amygdala is the brain's internal alarm system, responsible for processing fear and emotional responses. It is practically incapable of differentiating between the psychological risk of personal growth and the physical danger of being hunted by a predator. This triggers a visceral, physiological cascade. Your heart rate elevates, your mind floods with worst-case scenarios, and your body releases cortisol. Cortisol is a primary stress hormone that prepares your body for a fight or flight response. The intense anxiety you feel during personal growth is not a warning to stop. It is merely ancient biological hardware executing a survival protocol against a modern, non-lethal threat. This biology explains our everyday traps. People stay in miserable jobs for years because the brain calculates that known, familiar pain is survivable. Unknown variables are treated as a mortal threat. The same mechanism applies to toxic relationships. The brain fights leaving because it has built an identity around that dynamic. Dismantling the relationship means dismantling the identity, and the homeostasis mechanism fights that harder than almost anything. It takes an average of 66 days to rewrite a habit baseline. Because most people rely on short-lived willpower instead of sustained strategy, 92% of people fail their New Year's resolutions. Your brain actively prioritizes basic survival over actual happiness. It will gladly keep you stuck in a slow, miserable death just to avoid the perceived danger of the unknown. Most people make a fatal miscalculation. They experience the discomfort of change and falsely interpret it as a signal they are making a mistake. Feeling terrible is not proof of failure. It is the literal, physical sensation of your nervous system trying to drag you back to the old baseline. Psychologist Carol Dweck's research shows that the brain can physically rewire itself to a new set point through neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's physical ability to form and reorganize synaptic connections in response to new experiences. But this rewiring only happens through repeated, sustained exposure to discomfort. People with a fixed mindset burn their mental energy documenting their limitations. Those with a growth mindset use that exact same energy to find strategies. The painful resistance you feel when trying to change is not the enemy. It is the exact necessary signal that you are successfully breaking the old biological baseline. The comfort zone is not a physical location you can leave. It is a completely invisible process your brain runs, and simply understanding how it works strips it of its power. The rare people who successfully change their lives do not possess superhuman willpower. They do not experience less fear than anyone else. They have simply learned to interpret the alarm bells differently. True transformation is not about waiting for the fear to disappear. It is learning to recognize the biological alarm, feeling the terror, and choosing to walk through the door anyway.